It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Welcome to the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm Bob Rickenwell. This is Scooter.
Whoop, whoop.
Scott Callies.
How are you?
Peachy.
Had a long night.
It's a long night.
Yeah, you were here early. I was like, I was kind of wasn't expecting you to be here so early.
It was either in or gone. Yep.
I hear you.
No such thing as calling in asleep.
So what time did you guys get back?
I wasn't really that late. I was home and in bed by 1:30.
Not that late. 1:30. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up at 5.
But you made it. You're here. You're alive.
Well, that's questionable.
You're breathing.
I am breathing.
We'll put it there. How's that?
I'm able to sit up and take on oxygen. That's about it for right now.
That's good. That's good.
Yep. How about you? Busy night?
Yeah, I had to finish up some stuff on our vehicles last night. I told you I did the brakes on my truck, and I had to get the emergency brakes all adjusted in and got that done. And then a couple things on my dad's truck, and then we were done. But we actually got in the first time in a while, everything I wanted done yesterday, I got done. And that usually doesn't happen. Usually there's some monkey wrench got thrown in that.
That's what happens when you only have to work half a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Somebody's got to throw it out there.
Go ahead, throw it on out there. Go ahead.
Because I'm sure it's coming back shortly.
I reserve the right to use my time wisely.
Oh, okay.
And I will.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good night. Like I said, we got everything done that I wanted to get done last night, and turned out to be a good evening.
We had a relatively good night. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but it wasn't bad. Beautiful weather to drive, though.
Yes. Oh, yesterday. And today is supposed to be so nice.
Like 70 degrees today, something like that.
Oh, I'll take it.
Should be a nice day.
I'll take it.
There you go. Let's see. Anything else we need to chit-chat about?
I don't know. What all?
I don't know.
Well, probably just need to start the show then.
We'll
chit-chat as we go. How's that?
Chat while we... Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Morning Prayer brought to you by Hospice of the Ozarks. 870-508-1771 is their phone number. I figured out the other number. It's Discount Auto.
Oh,
425-1775.
There you go.
See?
There you go.
I knew there was another number.
You knew the number from something.
Yeah.
And now you know.
Yeah. It's not Hospice of the Ozarks. Hospice of the Ozarks is 870-508-1771. Greg Wood and his staff be glad to answer any questions you might have about hospice care, what they can do for you, your family, or even your pets. They've been serving Baxter and Marion County since 1978, and they do a wonderful job helping you with the end-of-life care. Hospice of the Ozarks, and now the morning prayer. We just thank you for the day that we have today, Lord. We thank you for the weather that you've given us. Lord, we just thank you for the country and the world that we live in. As messed up as it is, Lord, it's still better than some. Lord, we just pray that you'll continue to be with our troops overseas fighting in conflicts. Lord, we just pray that you'll bring them back safely. Lord, we pray that you'll be with their families as they are missing their loved ones as they're gone and deployed. Lord, we continue to pray for our government on the federal level, state and county, and even the city level as well. Lord, we pray for our students as they travel back and forth to school today, Lord. We pray for the administration, the teachers, and all the workers in the schools that have a great influence on our students. Lord, we just pray that you will continue to lead, guide, direct them, and keep them safe. And it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hospice of the Ozarks, 870-508-1771 is their number. Give them a call if you have questions about hospice care. Now it's time for a quick word from Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. 870-405-0793 is their number. retiredarkansas.net is their website. We'll be back in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Bob Zadora, the Z-Team. I'd like to share something with you. Our team didn't need to reach everyone to be considered successful. We only needed the power of one. One person who was delighted with the way they were treated, helping them to reach their real estate goals. One person who told another person who told another, and so on. So if you're ready to buy or sell real estate, the Z-Team would like to be your one. Give us a call. 870-405-0793, Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's time for the lake levels, dam reports, and all the weather updates brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora. The Z-Team, Century 21 Lemac Realty, 870-405-0793 is their number. RetiredArkansas.net is their website. Go there, click on live views, and this is what you see.
Beautiful morning.
No froggy today.
No, it's beautiful out there.
How come we're not fishing?
Well, let's go. Well, we'll get Dan Hall and them you and I will go.
No, let's just go.
Okay. All right. Well, great show. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
What a great shot of the White River. It's from Marion County, Arkansas, back into Baxter County, Arkansas. What you're looking at is the beautiful White River. The Rainbow Bridge is to your left. Behind it is the old Trellis Bridge. Over to your right would be Contractors Trust and the Railroad Museum. Straight ahead would be the ballpark and the downtown portion of if there is a downtown of Cotter, that's it.
Yeah.
Because there it is.
That's true.
If you look off into the distance, be to the right would be the city of Mountain Home. In front of it would be the city of Gassville. The old Witches Hat Water Tower is at about 1 o'clock. Straight ahead would be the state of Missouri. Way off to your left would be the city of Bull Shoals. You can check this out for yourselves throughout the day. Make it your screensaver if you want to. Go to retiredarkansas.net. You can click on MLS listings while you're there and see what's available in our great state of Arkansas that's for sale. If something tickles your fancy, grabs your interest, give them a phone call at 870-405-0793. They'd be glad to help you. Looking at some temperatures while that scroll through some beautiful shots. That's just a cool shot.
Mm-hmm.
Currently in Mountain Home is 47, Harrison is 49, Batesville 56, Yellville 44, Marshall's 34, Salem is 41, Mountain View is 34, Calico Rock is 47, West Plains, Missouri is 41, Springfield, Missouri 47, St. Louis, Missouri 41, Poplar Bluff, Missouri is 43. Woohoo! I'm really surprised there's not many boats on that water right now.
I know. As beautiful as it is today.
Temperature's really nice and all that good stuff. Let's take a look at the radar. Currently on the national radar scene, there's still some rain going on up in Washington State. Portland, Oregon, California is still getting some. There's a little bit of snow going through Nevada and Utah, up into Denver, into Wyoming, over into Nebraska, a little bit of rain in the upper portion of Michigan. But as far as the central United States, and we'll zoom in on it right now, there's nothing going on the radar.
Going to be a nice day.
For the great state of Arkansas, from Rogers over to Blytheville, Fayetteville over to Jonesboro, Fort Smith to Memphis, Conway, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Pine Bluff, Texarkana to Greenville, Mississippi. Nothing going on as far as participation.
Participation.
Yeah, no rain today. Watches and warnings on the national scene. What's all this stuff right here? Scooter wind advisory. And we've got, is that a flood advisory right here?
Looks like it.
Yep. Dense fog advisory along the Gulf Coast, but if you look at Oklahoma, Matt, look at this, how that just knows where the Oklahoma border is.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Just shuts it right off. Oklahoma and Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Tennessee, Mississippi, for the most part, is all clear. The southern portion of Louisiana is under a heavy, dense fog advisory. But if you're traveling in the central United States, you're looking pretty good. On a 7-day forecast today is partly sunny, high near 73 degrees, partly cloudy tonight, slight chance of thunderstorms, low of 56. Thursday, chance of showers, high of 69. Thursday night, mostly clear, low of 41. Friday, sunny, high of 61 degrees. Friday night, clear, low of 37. Saturday, sunny, high of 64. Saturday night, mostly clear, low of 44. And then Sunday, mostly sunny, high of 72. First part of the week, looks like 75 degrees on Monday and 74 degrees on Tuesday. Spring here?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Has to wait for you to say okay.
Yeah, I think we got one. I still think we got one more storm coming through.
Yeah, there you go. Just like we had just a hit of snow the other day. Lake levels and dam reports. Lake Norfolk 553.90, which is 1.90 above full pool of 552. No generation available at Lake Norfolk. Lake Bull Shoals 657.33, which is 1.67 below full pool of 659. The The last report was 5 generators. If you look at the river, they may be running some, but there is not an updated report from the Corps of Engineers. So don't really know what's running. Give them a call at 870-431-5311 and see if they'll update that for you before you go fishing. That's the lake levels, dam reports, and all the updates brought to you by Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team, Century 21 Lee Mack Realty. 870-405-0793 is their number. Retiredarkansas.net is their website. These are realtors you can recommend to your friends. I say they're busy, but never too busy to assist you. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
When the acres add up, so does the work. The Kubota LO2 Series is ready for it. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, it features powerful, dependable Kubota diesel engines, performance-matched attachments, and the versatility to get the job done right.
For all your Kubota needs, visit Ozarks Farm and Lawn in Mountain Home.
For all things
Welcome back to the Morning Show on XL7-TV. It's time for community news and happenings brought to you by Ozarks Farm and Lawn, the dealership that deals. Highway 62 Southwest at Buford Road. 870-425-3434 is their phone number. They have got lawn mowers, lawn tractors, zero turns, commercial zero turns. They've got Kubotas, they've got New Hollands, they've got hay equipment, they've got accessories, they do.
All right, that's well said.
Did we cover it all?
I was actually talking to David yesterday. I got thinking, and other than one of my tractors, I bought all my tractors from there.
Really?
Mm-hmm. One of them I bought from a guy. It was an old Jubilee Series type tractor.
No, one of the old Fords?
Yeah, and the guy had it. But other than that, all my tractors came from them.
Oh, darn.
They take care of you.
They take care of you. Ozarks Farm and Lawn, Highway 62 Southwest at Buford Road. Got a benefit fishing tournament coming up, which will be March the 9th, 2024. Takeoff will be 7 o'clock in the morning. Weigh-in is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at Bull Shoals Lake Boat Dock. Empowering Veterans Rivers of Recovery. Riversofrecovery.org is the organization you can go to. Check it out online. United Bass Anglers, it's a $1,000 guaranteed first price. It's the second annual benefit bass tournament. It's $120 per boat. Information and registration, call Todd Wilcox at 870-243-0172. Rivers of Recovery provides rehabilitation and to physically and psychologically injured U.S. combat veterans using innovative outdoor-based therapies and pioneering research. By golly,
that's
a lot
pretty
to say
cool.
in a short amount of time. Huh?
It is. Okay, community events over.
And we're going to try to have them on the show. Let's see when we're going to try to have them on
26th.
We're going to try to have them on the 26th. This bass tournament will be on a Saturday. We're going to try to have them on the 26th, which will be next Monday. So there you go with that. Second Amendment Legacy Foundation has been formed here, and they are doing a dinner banquet. It's a fundraising banquet on April the 19th at 5:30, Baxter County Fairgrounds. It's at 1507 Fairgrounds Drive here in Mountain Home. If you need tickets, give Joanna Baxter a call at 870-424-3535. Call Bo Trammell at White River Firearms at 870-402-9002. Or Mr. Dan Hall, you can get a hold of him at 870-421-2322. Tables are available. They'll take just flat out donations if you want to just buy a ticket. Single tickets are $35, a couple is $60. You can get a raffle stack for $250 or a big raffle stack for $500. All kinds of tables range from $800 for a table to $2,500 for a table. And there you go. We've got Dan Hall here this morning. I'm sure he'll mention this while he's here, and we'll talk about that some. Let's see what else we got going on here, Scooter.
Any good news in the news?
Any good news in the news? Any news that's news has got to be good news, or it ain't getting talked about here. Here's some good news. The marijuana sales is down for the month of January.
All right.
I like that. Let's see. Nope, no news there. Early voting started yesterday. Exercise your right to vote. If you don't vote, you can't complain.
I agree.
Plain and simple. Gas prices are up a little bit. I noticed that on the way back from Greenbrier last night. They are creeping up there again.
Great.
Averaged about $2.79 to $2.99 on the way home last night. So, kind of wild, kind of crazy. Let's shift over to sports real quick before we get Dan Hall and Hollie Scoma on here. Norfolk girls will start their regional tournament today. The 1A Region 2 tournament gets underway at Westside High School at Greer's Ferry. On the girls' side, Norfolk takes on Maynard at 4. Viola faces Madam Spring at 7. While the boys will meet Mark Tree at 8:30. Salem will be in Manila. Start their first game of the 3A2 region tournament. They will take on Piggott at 7. Class 2A regional tournament starts at Iser County High School in Brockwell. Marshall will play Conway Christian at 5:30. And both ICC teams will be paired up to play Bigelow. Girls start at 7. Other area tournaments going on. The 1A1 will be at Huntsville. Omaha girls meet Thaden. On the boys bracket, Let Hill faces New School at 5:30. Jasper takes on Mulberry at 8:30. How about all that? Let's see. Valley Springs will go to Boonville for the first night of the tournament. The 3A1, the Tigers will take on Hackett at 5:30. Valley Springs girls will be matched up against Charleston at 7. Ozark Mountain girls will compete in the opening game at the 2A West Regional in Greenland. The Lady Bears will take on Lavaca at 4. And that's about all of that. Up in Missouri, we've got 2 teams going on up there. Mansfield will return to the semifinals in the Class A District 10 tournament. Beckersfield will take on top-seeded Hartville, and Gainesville will take on Norwood at 7. Last night down in Greenbrier, the Mountain Home Lady Bombers beat the Lady Panthers, and the Mountain Home Bombers beat the Panthers, both of them. Lady Bombers have secured the number 3 seed in the state tournament, which will begin next Tuesday. And the Bombers there's a lot of things going on for the Bombers to be number 3. Currently, they're number 4. They are guaranteed at least number 4.
Awesome.
And for them to creep up to the number 3 spot, they have to beat Alma Friday night at the Hangar, and Van Buren has to beat Russellville.
Okay.
Right now, the Lady Bombers will play on Thursday. If the Bombers are number 4 seed, they'll play Tuesday. If not, they'll jump to the number 3 seed, and they'll play on Thursday as well.
Okay.
So it's going to be a busy week next week
Yeah.
in basketball. XL7-TV will be broadcasting the 1A state tournament from here. The state tournament for them will be played at Harrison. The host team there is Omaha. But we're going to do some of the games live. We're going to do some of the games from the studio.
Be kind of a little mix.
A little bit of a mix. We'll have to figure out how that's all going to work. Once we know who's in,
It'll
we'll
be a
figure out
juggle.
how it's going to. We'll figure out how it's going to work once we figure out who's going to be in it, and we won't know that till Friday night late. So
We will learn to juggle by the end of next week.
there you go. That's Community News and Happenings, brought to you by Ozarks Farm and Lawn, the dealership that deals. You're watching the morning show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
For all things glass, contact the professionals at Clear Results Glass in Mountain Home. Whether you're needing a rock chip repair or a full windshield replacement, Clear Results Glass can take care of all of your automotive glass needs with fast turnarounds at competitive prices. They service business and residential customers and can custom cut any glass or provide you with the right fit for your home windows, sliding doors, commercial glass, or even a frameless shower enclosure. Contact Clear Results Glass today for a quote or to schedule your next glass project. That's Clear Results Glass, located in Mountain Home.
Your senior health care specialist is VACO Insurance in Mountain Home. Retired law enforcement and disabled veteran owner Frank VACO and staff can help you with all your insurance needs. VACO Insurance provides coverage for most carriers in the area, such as Medicare, Affordable Care Act, individual, or any other health or life insurance options. With over 13 years experience and agents in multiple areas and locations throughout northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, VACO Insurance is the right choice to handle all your insurance needs. That's VACO Insurance, located in Mountain Home.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
All you've ever wanted was a place to write your story. You hear it's not the right time to buy or sell a house, but really, the best time is when it's right for you. The real estate markets, they change, they go up, they go down. One thing that doesn't change is where you want to be in your life. The professionals you team up with will make your story happen. The Z Team are the professionals you need to hire for your next chapter. So call the Z Team at 870-405-0793, Century 21 Lemac Realty, 1024 Highway 62 East, retiredtoarkansas.net.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Mr. Dan Hall, Department of Disabled American
Here, sir.
Veteran. That'd be enough of that. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Hollie Scoma, District 3 Veteran Service Officer. Hollie skipped out on us last month, Dan, so guess what? You don't get to say anything. It's all Hollie.
That's good. Yeah.
Because she's here for
First off,
no reason.
I would love to see him not say something the whole time. I've been on too many morning shows and radios with him. I know he always has information to throw out there.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
He has the right to remain silent, but not the ability.
There you go. I've heard him say that before. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Good morning. Welcome to the Dan Hall Roast.
Oh, well, let me get my notes.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, so we've just been really busy with the veteran community. So getting out of that turnover from all of our holidays, and
Yeah,
doing,
y'all have a lot of holidays.
yeah. Well, I mean, they're
About as many as Scooter's got.
Oh, here we go.
so we had a bunch of holidays and then trainings, and then we finally got back into the offices, and then had more holidays, and then now we're about to go back into our training, which is our quarterly training, so to get everyone back up to speed. But we've just had a lot of foot traffic coming through, a lot of people needing their tax letters to get their property tax off for their 100%, and then just a lot of questions about PACAC and changes and things that are happening at VA. So we've just been steadily...
The PAC Act finally settling down, or is that?
No.
No?
No.
Do you anticipate it to ever settle down?
No.
Until
So I
it runs
think
out?
I don't think that'll ever run out. I think it's just people don't always get information whenever we push it out, and they tend to like wait and think, oh, this doesn't apply to me. And then when they realize that it does, or they think maybe I should ask now, it's still all going. They're just not going to get that extra back pay that was there last year. So that's the big thing. So. But we're still seeing a steady number of people applying for different cancers or hypertension. So,
What about the Camp Lejeune thing? Is that still a thing?
Camp Lejeune is definitely still a thing. So that's kind of rolled into our PACAC. So that's another toxic exposure that we have. So the VA calls them TERA, a toxic exposure risk assessment, saying that they were in an area that had some kind of exposure to either airborne or chemical, and this is one of them. So Camp Lejeune affected a lot of people in a very small area just there, but like for our burn pits, that affected multiple countries, multiple agencies, so not just Marine Corps at Camp Lejeune, it was Army, Air Force, everyone else. So There's a lot of those exposures that we have, so we have a whole listing that people can come and talk to us about.
I always want to caution veterans, go see your county veteran service officer. He can do for you pretty much anything that those lawyers that are advertising,
Absolutely.
you know.
And we do it for free, so we
Yeah,
don't charge.
and some of it's kind of interesting. I saw one where the little fine print said that we only take 20% of your settlement, but then the little fine print is that all the costs come out of your 80%.
Absolutely.
Now think about that for a minute.
Yep.
So you may end up with nothing
Yep.
if depending on what the costs were of that case. You got 80%, we're going to take all the costs out of that, and
Yeah,
the lawyer's
absolutely.
20% goes in his
And I've-
pockets.
And
It's
I've
like
seen
any
that
other class
happen,
action
yeah.
lawsuit. The only ones that make any money is the lawyers.
Yeah, and I've seen that happen a lot with our veterans, where they'll get potential back pay all the way back to the 90s from when they originally filed, and they'll get $20,000-$30,000 settlement from the VA, and then all of that is gone, and their monthly pay for a couple months until they pay off this lawyer. And so it's really unfortunate because that's money that they deserve because they had the exposure, they did the time, they did the service. So come check out your veteran service officer. There are some things that we will suggest that you need a lawyer for. So if you're ever suing the VA for like malpractice, that's not something that we could help with because we are not lawyers. But for these things where it's just arguing why you don't have this connection, we can help you there.
But thank you.
I just, like I said, always caution the veterans, don't go by those ads and call a lawyer and think you're going to get a real deal, because they really can't do much for you that we can't do as your county veteran service officers and through ADVA.
Yeah.
How many county veteran service officers are there in this area?
So in like Mountain Home, or are you talking
Well, I know
like
we have one in Baxter County. We have,
one in Marion, one in Fulton?
but the one in Marion's part-time.
So yeah, so the whole state has there's 75 counties. We normally have one for each state. There are a couple states that have multiple. So like down in Pulaski, down in Little Rock, they have like 4 or 5. Down in Fayetteville, they have I think 3. So there's a couple places like that that have multiples and they're full-time, but most of them are only part-time. And that has a lot to do with the counties and what the counties can afford to pay them because they're a county employee.
Okay.
So, but if they can't get to them on their days that they're working, they're generally around the area is somebody who is working full-time. So we have 3 that work full-time in our district, or 4.
You have 4 full-time.
So we have one in Harrison, one in Mountain Home, one in Heber Springs, and then one in Independence.
How big is District 3?
It's 9 counties.
9 counties.
Yep, we cover
Harrison
about
to Batesville.
24,000 veterans.
Harrison to Batesville, basically.
Yeah.
Our local county service officer is still Charlie Leonard.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Well,
Of course.
Of course.
Things change.
Charlie can't leave.
Things change, you know.
Yeah.
And how do
No.
they get a hold of him, Dan?
Charlie's number is 870-425-8155. But if you live in Marion County or Fulton and you're not sure how to get a hold of your county veteran service officer, call your county judge. That's who he works for. You can get contact through them.
And the district service officer, as in your position as the District 3 veteran service officer, what is your role?
So my role is to help them with cases. So if there's anything that they come across that we have over 40 programs underneath us so that we help veterans with. So if they come across something that they haven't done in a while or they need extra training, that's where I'm there. And then I help them also get set up. And then I also do appeals. So I travel around and help veterans with their like cases like we were talking about where they're talking to a judge about why they should be connected.
Are the guidelines different for like people that live up across the border into Missouri? Are the veterans guidelines the same no matter what state you live in?
They're the
Supposedly.
same. So they're the same. The benefits potentially could be different. So like we have state benefits here in Arkansas that they could have a fishing license if they prove that they've been a resident for a year, or they could have the markdown for the license plates and property tax exemptions. In Missouri, those are all run by the Missouri State Department of Veterans Affairs. So they're different, but we can help with claims and benefits because those are all VA benefits and that's all the same, if that makes sense.
There you go. Let's take a quick break. You watch the morning show on XL7-TV. We'll be back in just a moment.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Providing caring, compassionate services at an affordable price is our goal at Connor Family Funeral Home. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that treats our friends and neighbors just like family, with a wide range of services and options to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area. Connor Family addresses all the details with no hidden fees, so you can rest assured that you are treated like family for a more personalized and worry-free service. That's Connor Family Funeral Home, where compassion and affordability meet, located in Mountain Home.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the Mountain Home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Dept Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Dept grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Dan Hall, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans. Hollie Scoma, District 3 Veteran Service Officer, is with us this morning. Whew. Okay, Dan, it's your turn.
Okay, we've been real busy this week, particularly crazy stuff going on all day long today, and tomorrow we've got our quarterly meeting of the county partners in our suicide prevention initiative, and that's the last month of the VA grant that, together with veterans that we've been working with. So the officials from Denver, Western Interstate Commission on Higher Education, who kind of oversaw this program, they're going to be in here to tell us how good we did and how the money stops.
And when?
And when. We got a check for February, and then we're done with that. But we've been thinking in terms of sustainability from day one. This program's been going on now for more than 10 years. And we started out of pocket, and then we got a little bit of help from DAV National and local help, and then we got invited to participate in this together with Veterans Program, and we kind of became one of the leaders in that program. And knowing that this was a 3-year grant, I've been thinking in terms of sustainability from day one. We've already replaced the requirements of that grant with county budget and local participation. So we're going to continue pretty much like we have gone, getting into new areas all the time and promoting things. There's a couple of new things that we've kind of presented to VA to look at in their research programs. And when I say research, almost all of these grants are research grants. They're not permanent positions. This is like a 2-year program or a 3-year study or whatever. And some of them are pretty good, but probably less than 1% of them ever become funded programs through VA, because that requires going to Congress and getting a position approved and all that. But there are things that we've come up with that we've forwarded. One of them that came out of Australia has to do with the outreach to people who aren't coming into the program through the internet. You know, a lot of people will go up on the internet and look for information that they would never talk to a person about. They're very private, looking for information. So when they seek information on suicide, methodology, any number of things, depression and so on, we're trying to create a program. Basically, you know, if you go up on the internet and you look for a particular item, let's say I want to look for a side-by-side four-wheeler, from that day on, I'll be getting ads from everybody who makes such an item or anything close to it.
Mm-hmm.
So using that kind of an idea, when we go with targeted drops, somebody goes up on the internet and looks at depression and so on and so forth, and then we just start feeding them information. Our organization could be dropped on them, so a place to contact. That's one thing that they're looking at. It's already been tried in Australia. And another one that we got dumped on has to do with technology. You know, when a veteran or a service person dies by suicide, what we want to do is back up from that minute what brought that on. Yeah. And one of the ways you might learn from that is to have the devices that that individual had, his computer, laptop, cell phone. Who was that individual talking to? What kind of information were they getting ahead of time? Which then can give you heads up ideas of how to deal with these people before they're in crisis. So there's several things that we're looking at that through organizations like ours are being viewed by different ways to approach things and contact more veterans before they're in crisis, before you have to.
And it's such a hard metric to track. So because it's very different from our civilian counterparts, our veteran community is what they're experiencing, because they were so far removed sometimes, and so coming back and trying to fit back into society, or the women's veteran community, which is completely different from the male community and had different experiences. It's really hard. That's why these research things are important, so that we could really kind of find what these triggers are and, you know, how to prevent it, which is a hard metric to track.
And then on top of that, of course, we have the Suicide Prevention Research Group that we created. It's a nationwide organization. We have people from Connecticut to Washington State and so on. But of the 18 active people that meet all the time by Zoom, a dozen of them are right here in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And 4 of them are right here in Baxter County. Myself, Dr. Wolford, Hollie, and Alicia are all members of this group. And what we do is, some of these people that have ideas for planning grants, and they don't know much about the veteran community. They know what they want to try to do, but how do we contact these people and so on? And so they make presentations to us, and we offer ideas and kind of, when they're going off in odd directions that aren't going to be much help, kind of direct them out of that area. And that's something we meet monthly.
Yeah, and so when we talk about that community and that aspect, like, that's a lot of doctors and researchers and PhDs and psychologists and things like that. And then we have us as veterans representing the people that they want to talk to. So like sometimes they'll throw something out and be like, well, what if the VA contacts them or comes to their door? And we're like, that's probably not the best way to go about it, because not everyone trusts those people, and, you know, kind of a little bit of input to let them know how the community feels, because they're out of touch with us.
And they're trying to work through VA. Well, 76% of veterans who die by suicide are in the VA system.
Absolutely.
In any way, shape, or form. And so when you're trying to do surveys and you're getting your lists of people to be surveyed or potential participants from the VA, you're missing the vast majority of veterans. So sometimes you can enlighten them on different directions to go to get veterans to participate in your study.
I've been wanting to ask you all this for a long time. Dan, what was your position in the service? What role did you play in the service?
I was an infantry small unit leader, platoon sergeant in the infantry, and then I carried a secondary occupational specialty as nuclear, biological, and chemical defense specialist. And then when I came back from Vietnam, I got sent out back to American University to study corrections, and picked up another occupational MOS as a correctional counselor, and operated within the correctional system.
Holly, about you?
So I actually did public health, which went from everything, it was a medical position, so it went from everything from epidemiology to the study of disease and illness to deployments, to helping people understand what their environment would be like in deployment setting, as well as doing screeners for PTSD and helping people get out of the military for medical boards. So I've done a lot of different things. We called it the catch-all of the clinic, so whatever the clinic didn't want to do, that's what we did. So we did shock clinics, I did a lot of things, and so then when I deployed as a combat medic, so I did some of that, which was very enlightening.
Dan, what got you interested in doing work with the DAV?
Well, when I came back from Vietnam, I got very much involved in public service, having a lot to do with a deal I made with Jesus, and spent most of my life ever since I got back in some sort of public service, law enforcement, politics, what have you. And when I retired, right before I retired, I had more time to devote to, and I got very much involved with disabled American veterans, and then became the local chapter commander, and then the state commander, and the legislative officer. And I'm still local commander of the DAV and work with the legislative group out of Washington. There for about 6 years, I had to go back to D.C. every year for midwinter legislative conferences. Yeah. That's going on next week, actually.
Yeah. We have our state leaders there right now working on legislation as well, so.
Yeah, General Penn was supposed to be at our meeting tomorrow, and
he's in D.C.
He's in D.C. on that. Did he ever say he was sending? He told me he might send his deputy.
Oh, I'll talk to them.
So, Holly, what got you started as being a veteran service officer?
So the real reason is kind of selfish, but I had went into a local office when I was in Florida, and I tried to apply for benefits, and after serving 15 years in multiple deployments, the guy looked at my paperwork, which I laid out very neatly and was just trying to make sure I was doing the right thing, and told me that he didn't think I could file for anything other than one knee surgery. And I was like, I've had multiple back fractures and I have other issues going on, and he was like, I don't see it. And so after that, I got a job working in Florida. And then when I realized that most of our veteran service officers are male, and about 16% of the force right now is female, so those women getting out don't have somebody to go talk to, I started doing women veteran things in Florida. And then I found this job doing women veteran things here. So it's a lot of like I said, I bring a lot of medical knowledge to the career field, so I can explain how things interrelate because I've seen it my whole life. So, but also letting them know how to talk to women and how to approach these things that sometimes can be uncomfortable for both ends. So it's one of the things I'm really passionate about, is making sure everyone's getting good service. So
I want to follow up a little bit with that, since I sat on the panel that hired her when Alicia left us, and I'm telling you that we were very fortunate to get Holly beyond the 8-hour-a-day job that she's committed to for salary. She puts in about that many hours in other parts of the veteran program that she's committed to. What she's doing right now is not part of the job description that we hired her to do.
Not at all.
They travel around the state and working with our suicide prevention group. There's a lot of hours that are just volunteer time because she's committed to these programs for veterans. So we're just really blessed to have her.
Oh, thank you so much.
As the old saying goes, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Something like that.
That's
yeah.
part of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's time for another break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Even on the most perfect day, the unexpected can happen. But with just one call to their local Red Ribbon expert at Overhead Door, they can get their garage door fixed or replaced in a jiffy.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home. Experience the best in Mexican dining. Letty's in Gassville. Voted numerous times as the best Mexican restaurant in the Twin Lakes area. Come out for delicious breakfast served all day. Or enjoy an authentic Mexican lunch or dinner. $1.49 tacos on Thursday. 10% discount for seniors every day. No time? Call Letty's and have your to-go order waiting for you. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties, weddings, holidays, or big events. The best Mexican restaurant in the Twin Lakes area. Letty's in Gassville.
Well, folks, have you been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
When the acres add up, so does the work. The Kubota LO2 series is ready for it. Part of the #1 rated tractor brand for durability and owner experience, it features powerful, dependable Kubota diesel engines, performance-matched attachments, and the versatility to get the job done right.
For all your Kubota needs, visit Ozarks Farm and Lawn in Mountain Home.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. Dan Hall, Arkansas Department of Disabled American Veterans. Hollie Scoma, District 3 Veteran Service Officer, is with us. I know y'all got some other things you want to discuss this morning.
Yeah.
Lay them out there.
So we are having a little presentation today at 3 o'clock in front of Rapsbaron. We partnered with the Military Women's Veteran Calendar. One of our women veterans from service, Alicia knows her, she started this project of having an all-women's calendar highlighting service and accomplishments and extra things. And so we partnered with her as our military service sister group here, and we helped promote it and we sold it throughout the state. And so she actually invested back in us and gave us $500 of those profits back to our nonprofit. So we're going to have Miss Lori Rodmeyer here today to help get that big check. So we'll have a nice little presentation there. And then we are also having our lunch on Friday. And that's going to be at Colton's.
Somebody needs to turn the bass up.
I know, right? So we're going to have our lunch at Colton's at 12 o'clock for our military service sisters here in Mountain Home. And we're opening up 2 new chapters, so we're really excited. We are doing big things, so I know. Alicia's wonderful. I'm so excited.
Dan, I know you've got the new Second Amendment Foundation thing that's going to be coming up, and I know that's nothing to do with the veterans, but it kind of does.
Well, it does, yeah. We had started about 5 years ago with the Friends of the NRA Foundation, which is not the NRA, it's a 501c3 that raised money for youth programs and what have you, and we supported our local 4-H and their shooting events and safe possession of firearms and our OTC program. But over the years, we've raised more and more money locally. The community really got behind us, and last year we had to take a look at where we were on this, and we're Top Gun fundraisers, but it goes into the foundation. Then we had to apply for grants to get money back. And it seemed like each year we produced more and got less back. So we made a decision last year to leave that organization. We created our own 501c3, the Second Amendment Legacy Foundation. And we're doing exactly the same thing. We have a big dinner coming up, 19th of April, fundraiser, auction and what have you. But the difference being that every dollar that we raise is going to stay right here for our local programs. So that's one of the things. There's a couple others that we're involved in because we're out there in the public so much. When people need something and there's nobody doing it, they always come to us and say, can you help with this? And we took on another project that I'm working with, and that has to do with receiving food. We had a lady who drives truck for Tyson who came in to our DAB meeting October, and she was a little concerned because when she leaves the plant with this reefer truck full of frozen meats to be delivered, it is not uncommon to have a pallet of frozen meat that can't be delivered. It's a double order, or it's not accepted somewhere. They have to do something with that, and they can't take it back to the plant. And so sometimes it ended up in the landfill.
Yeah.
It's the transportation and storage gets more expensive than the value of the food, so you have to make a business decision. But anyway, we agreed to be, we have people here, Jonesboro and Russellville, that they can contact when they have that happen, and I accept that pallet load of frozen food, and we put it in the food basket or the food bank, or the Ozark Center of Hope at the Redeemer Lutheran Church has a food pantry. We just accept it, get it in storage, and then they can make the distributions. So there's those kind of programs that we keep coming up with, and of course we do all this with volunteer work and community support.
Yeah.
I now have a trailer with a couple of big freezers on it, and I donated my own generator. So if I have to go over to Fayetteville area to pick up a load of frozen chicken, we can keep it froze and bring it back here and store it. And then there's another one. There's an outfit called Healing Waters that's a national program that tries to outreach to veterans that are isolated and not doing much and get them involved in some sort of activity, hunting, fishing, fly fishing, whatever. Yeah. And Paul Craig, one of our members, is kind of taking that on here locally. So we keep expanding in all different directions with our outreach programs to keep veterans involved in the community, their quality of life up, and eliminate these crisis situations that lead to oftentimes suicide.
Absolutely.
Suicide's a big focus.
It is, but we try to get them before they're in that mode.
Yeah, so we've seen a general rise in suicide in the past year from the VA guidelines. So women's suicide has been on the rise the most, but veteran suicide has steadily been on the rise after COVID as well. So it's just something that I think is like near and dear to all of our hearts. We've all lost somebody one way or another, and it's something that we want to make sure that doesn't happen again because it does have such a big impact on a community.
Upcoming events, Dan, other than the Second Amendment Foundation dinner fundraiser, what else have you got coming up?
Let's see, we're going to have in April another Veterans Benefit Fair over at the fairgrounds, and of course then we have the Memorial.
April?
Isn't that going to be April?
Maybe.
It's usually in April.
To be determined.
And then in early May or June, we'll have the car show again that Ultimate put on. A couple of years ago they started that, and I think the first year they had like 30 or 39 pre-registrations, and they did this to benefit veterans groups, and the several veterans groups that were there, I think we each got, it was all the profits went to veterans, and I think Ultimate cut each of the groups a check for something around $500. Last year, the second year of the program, I think they had like 140 pre-registrations, and it came off to where I think each one of the veterans groups that was involved got $1,500, so 3 times the, and they're looking at increasing it again this year.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we always have the Memorial Day service on the square. That'll be coming up, and I believe DAV was asked to sponsor that this year.
Awesome. Yeah, so we are going to have our quarterly training on the 7th of March. That's for our district, for us to get training. So like I said, some programs have changed within the VA to make sure that everyone's up to speed. And then also we are going to also have on the 22nd and 23rd of March, the VA Deputy Secretary, Tanya Bradsher, is going to be in Arkansas in Little Rock. We are having an event for women veterans, and the Military Women's Memorial will be sponsoring that and be there. So the Eventbrite is coming out for that shortly. We also are going to be down in Hot Springs opening up a new chapter. Then we have a couple other events. We share all of these things on Facebook. So on our Women's Veterans page, as well as our Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs, and all of our district county service officers, for the most part, share them as well. So like Baxter County has their own, and so does Marion. So I push out all of this information so that it gets down there too. So
when is the week-long acronym training?
That one is not normally until October, towards the end of the year. So
There is such a thing.
yeah, I mean, we do it at our ADVA VSO training, which is the Arkansas Department of Veterans Affairs. I had to throw it out there. But we do that at our annual training. We go over a list of acronyms because there is so many that's added. I think we have almost like 15 pages worth of VA acronyms and then state acronyms.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So, and then I'm asking somebody to learn a new language on top of training, so it's a lot.
The acronym world training.
Yeah, in the acronym world.
I always say the words.
Yeah, spit them out.
It's a lot sometimes.
Well, yeah.
Some of these programs are very, I'm like, I understand why they went with the acronym. That's a lot of things.
Let's look into the future a little bit. Dan, I know you've got your big picnic that'll come up.
Mm-hmm.
You already started working on that, I'm sure.
Well, right after Memorial Day, we get all those early in the year things done, and usually by April, I'm done with the Second Amendment side of things, the other thing that I commit a lot of time to, and then we're back to pretty much full-time working on getting the outreach picnic together that we now do over at ASU campus. And there's so many moving parts to that, and participants and supporters, most of our banks and several other businesses, Zadora and the real estate business, Century 21, all the different, you wouldn't believe how many people are involved in putting all that together. We start with that with my letters of support requests in June and July.
Yeah.
So we do the picnic, actually, it's always the first Saturday of October.
Mm-hmm. Hollie, if you could look into the camera and talk to one person that you've not seen in your office yet, or a new veteran that maybe have moved into the area that's not really connected with the veterans groups, what would you say to them?
I would say please come in and just try to ask questions and see. There's so many things that have changed and so many things are different. The VA that you knew yesterday is not the same VA today. So please come and talk to us, whether it's healthcare or benefits or education. We can set you in the right direction and help you get those things.
Dan, what about you? Disabled American veteran out there said, I don't want to mess with all that. What would you tell him?
I tell them we need your help.
Yeah.
You know, there's things that we and Disabled American veterans can do for you, but there's, more importantly, there's things that you can help us do for other veterans.
Absolutely. We always need volunteers.
Volunteers.
We always need volunteers and help.
Get her done. How do they get a hold of either one of you?
They go to hold of me by calling 870-421-2322.
And then 870-404-6944.
And Charlie Leonard's number one more time?
870-425-8155.
Okay.
One day I'll memorize
And
it.
the Suicide Prevention Crisis Line, 988.
Yep.
That's it.
988 what?
Just 988.
That's 988.
Well,
and then
and
press one for
veterans
veteran.
press will.
But you got to do star 988?
No.
No, just
988.
988.
Yeah. So it's like an emergency hotline, so
Okay.
988.
Oh, my God.
That we put that in effect last year, and in the first month, I was told that the use of that hotline had gone up by like 50%. So we immediately went out and changed our billboards and got rid of that old crisis line and put the 988 on there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you all very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
We wish you the best of luck in your ventures going forward, and we'll see you next month. You've been watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. We'll see you tomorrow.